uh, ultimately the whole purpose of technology is not to replace lawyer. Ultimately it is to augment the human capabilities.
Because of your automation, most of the clerical jobs or the fresher who is coming into your office, their jobs are gone.
It's not the AI which is kind of eating those jobs or whatever. It is ultimately the people who are efficient enough to use those tools and technologies
Okay.
would be replacing those who are not willing to change.
Okay. Welcome to my podcast, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, Rahul, and thank you for inviting me for this interesting conversation. I'm Nishant Bhaskar, and I'm the founder and chief legal technologist at Advanta Legal Tech. Advanta Legal Tech is a legal tech consulting firm primarily helping law firms and legal departments to streamline their legal operations.
Okay.
And we have our delivery team here in Bangalore.
So it is in many based. It is not in Bangalore, but it is many based company.
Yes, so currently we have our presence in 6 countries.
Oh, countries.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have our headquarter in UK, London,
Okay.
and then we have our presence in US, Canada,
Hmm.
even Ireland, Australia, and India.
I got to know that you are doing legal tech kind of thing. So means what is legal tech consultant means? Because many persons don't know, and the legal tech means before technology comes into the picture, legal tech term no one heard about and no one is get into that. So how you thought after your LLB, after your graduation in law, you will get into this, or you have done your law and pursuing law, or in the court you have done that, or you directly jumped into entrepreneurship?
So honestly speaking, this was completely serendipity for me.
Okay.
I never planned to be in legal tech in the first place,
Mhm.
but one thing led to another and another and another.
Okay.
And as Steve Jobs has also said, many a times you cannot make sense of the things, but when you look back, you can then connect the dots.
Okay.
And now I see that whatever things I did,
Mhm.
it's making all the sense and ultimately led me to do what I'm doing right now.
Okay.
So legal tech is essentially technology
Mhm.
tools
Mhm.
which are relevant for legal industry and helping lawyers,
Okay.
law departments, even judiciary
Mhm.
to streamline their workflows, the kind of technology very specific to legal industry.
Mhm.
So I started my career as a part of one of the biggest, publication house,
Mhm.
and then with an MNC, and where I got exposure with a little bit around the legal technology, and it helped me to get some idea and how things would be going forward. Then it helped me to explore more and started learning around that. And I ended up creating a platform for lawyers, creating content curation for lawyers to get all the topical updates through this platform.
So it is a platform. It is not like you will merge many technologies, but it's a platform like a Google or some like software. It is total platform. It is like a total ecosystem you are giving them.
Not like that. So in legal technology consulting, we are more on the service side of the things.
Okay.
Because there are n number of software and tools right there, and every day new technology and tools are coming up.
Mhm.
But to keep up with those technology and tools would be very difficult for these legal professionals, right? And so we basically help them. We work as a consultant. We are technology consultant, but particularly for the legal vertical.
Okay, particular for legal. It does means you are making them their research or their backup process or
Everything tech
faster.
side of the things we can help them. We help them to identify, evaluate, implement, and train on technology tools and software. We help them create, sorry, we help them create roadmap, technology roadmap for the digital transformation journey for these law firms and legal departments. Because it's just not about one project or two project. It's basically the change of the mindset. Technology is just an enabler at the end of the day.
Mhm.
You know, if you have to create or implement technology solutions, you have to understand their existing workflow and processes, you know, and ultimately you have to identify what tools and technology would be the right fit for that. And apart from the tech side and the processes, the most important factor is the mindset. How people and the organization is perceiving these changes. Because after the advent of AI, and particularly, that the transition that happened after post COVID, it is quite drastic. If you
True.
look at the legal industry, it has never been proactive in adopting technology. It has always been
It
laggard.
has always been like a papers and documents, not in the documents in the software copy, but as a paper. It was.
Absolutely, absolutely. So changing from that legacy system
Mm.
to something entirely digital,
Mm.
it's a very sort of difficult sort of transition, considering the legal industry. But when they experienced how technology can ultimately help them to get rid of all the regular tasks, which can be, low value tasks that can be easily automated through
Mm.
tools and technology, they could see the real value, particularly when you talk about these artificial gen ai solution.
Mm.
And lawyers are primarily very much document heavy kind of work that they do, right,
True, true.
in many cases. And so these tools are kind of boon for them, and it helps them to basically not only draft the things but even automate day to day task, and then the regular compliances check, even the security, data security and all those privacy oriented things and the regulation. It helps them to basically track all those changes quite efficiently. And if because and it reduces the error, the possibility of the error, because ultimately the whole purpose of technology is not to replace lawyer. Ultimately it is to augment the human capabilities.
Correct.
And when this AI came in, introduced, particularly chat gpt openai in November 2022,
Mm. I guess
lawyers as a
before
profession,
that only, right?
it was there, but the real sort of first hand experience, if you would call it.
Mm.
So lawyer as a community, as a profession, they were the one who got really apprehensive of the fact that so many jobs will be
Mm.
lost, and it is happening. All the lower,
Yeah.
uh,
No, my next question was that, like, because of your automation, most of the clerical jobs or the the fresher who is coming into your office, their jobs are gone. Because to a fresher, they what they will do, they will tell them to like set the files, your diaries, what means your tax
that's
dates and others. That
true,
small kind of works they will get.
true.
But right now, automation came means everything is gone. So it is good for a like starting student, but it is bad for a clerical stuff. His stuff is gone.
So that's what, all the low value tasks
Hmm.
which can be easily taken care by
Hmm.
technology, so all those sort of jobs
Hmm.
will be in a very difficult position, particularly paralegals and all that. But
Hmm.
it's not the AI which is kind of eating those jobs or whatever. It is
Hmm.
ultimately the people who are efficient enough to use those tools and technologies
Okay.
would be replacing those who are not willing to change.
Okay.
you know
Now then too, if like all the clericals want to upgrade and all the clericals are upgrading, but for like doing that automation, only one clerk is required,
Hmm.
right? So all the nine people who
Hmm.
wants to upgrade,
Hmm.
but their lost job is lost.
Essentially, yes. Essentially, yes. So this is really high time. And if you, I keep on talking about, how the mindset change is really required. They have to look forward to it and embrace this entire change,
Mm.
because this is anyway already here. The
Mm.
future is here. And if you do not adapt to that, you
Mm.
will be, left behind in
Okay.
oblivion. Nobody would care about you.
Mm.
So it is very, very important, because all these low value tasks are easily being automated. There are so many, even in other industry, tech industry, you are also looking at the news. You see
Mm.
that so much of firing is happening,
Mm.
because all for the low value task work, and which can be easily automated with the technology. Take for example Google itself. more than 30,000 jobs were lost,
True, true.
right?
Mm.
And it's happening with a
Rapid.
rapid
It
pace
is not
now.
Google. It is like Amazon also fired. TCS also fired. Your this thing, which company? Accenture. Many companies fired. Accenture also fired many people.
True.
Mm.
And this is real thing.
Mm.
And people, and particularly in legal profession, this is high time that
Mm.
they
No, but the companies who are firing that,
hmm,
they are also like thinking to upgrade only, but because of that process only they fired, because like paying others
hmm,
the same thing a machine is doing
hmm,
with very efficient way. It
hmm,
is not taking like mental stress,
hmm,
nothing at all. It is just like that maintenance cost is very less
hmm,
and giving more output.
correct.
And the big companies are ready to change, but the smaller companies
Hmm,
are not yet.
true, 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 true.
That is true. So, and plus, like, how you started up, I want to know that. Like, because after most of the people, when they will say in the graduation and all,
Hmm.
they will say, no, I will join a very good company. I will do like they in that then under I will do the job and all. Afterwards, I will after the experience, I will check what
Hmm.
is going on. Then we'll see that. But how you jumped it?
It's honestly, I didn't have any plan.
Okay.
I just, uh, did my BLLB
Mm-hmm.
from NLU Delhi. I was the first batch, and I was just applying for different jobs.
Okay.
I had no plans at all, actually, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing was sure,
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted to do something different,
Okay.
not the regular. One thing was very much clear, that I'm not going for the regular sort of, litigation, going to the
Mm.
court, or even working in corporate setup.
Uh,
And why I was so clear about this got clear because I had done so many internship in different semesters. So I
okay.
was in 5 years course, so we had 10 semesters. So
Mm.
after each semester and we were compulsorily required to do internship. So I
Right.
did different kind of internship.
Mm.
So it helped me get sort of exposure and understanding of different setup.
Mm.
So out of these experiences, one thing was pretty much clear for me, that I'm not going for the traditional thing.
Okay. Okay.
And I call myself accidental lawyer.
Okay.
I was supposed to be an engineer,
Okay.
and ended up being in legal
Correct.
field, because many of my my siblings, they are from the tech background, and they said that this market is pretty saturated,
Mm.
and considering the way you have been, I
Mm.
think law would be the right field for you.
Okay.
And when I went for preparing for my law entrance,
Mm.
and it sounded really exciting, and but the things was around that, and it made me feel empowered, and
Okay.
it has so much potential to ultimately
Mm.
help people.
Okay.
Then I finally decided to do law,
Mm.
and there was already that internal curiosity around the technology, the emerging tech. I
Mm.
have always been like that.
Okay.
I've been, since my childhood, I've been very creative and creating things.
Mm.
So I did law, and post that started exploring and experimenting things,
Mm.
and I gathered and developed more and more interest on the tech side of the things and how ultimately it would help. And as we discussed already, law or the legal industry is pretty laggard when it comes to adoption of technology,
True, true, true.
you
That is
know.
because.
And I realized that I can add
Hmm.
so much value there. So while I was working with an MNC, I came up with an idea where I was basically curating all these topical news updates. Then people started asking me questions, but post work it was very difficult to research and answer to those queries. Then I realized maybe I can create a platform where all the lawyers would be there and people would come and ask them the question, and these lawyers will get visibility on the platform, and they can find the client, and they will have, and these people who are looking for answer for their question, they would be happy, and they can in fact connect with the lawyers. It's win-win for everybody, and we can be a marketplace, a platform which basically connects, basically Uber for lawyers, you may say so.
Okay, okay.
So I ended up working on an idea and founded a company called Pocket Lawyer.
Okay.
India's one of the early stage legal tech venture, I would say, in this space as a marketplace, true marketplace, I would say. And this started somewhere around 2014 actually.
Okay.
And raised seed funding also, and ended up enrolling 80,000 plus lawyers and around 5 to 6,000 verified profiles. So it was just not lawyers, it was chartered accountant, business consultant, anybody, irrespective of their profession, if they are working anything in legal domain, they can get themselves registered on our platform, create their profile, answer to their queries on the platform, just like Quora. And then there was other module for the consultation and the fixed price legal services.
Okay.
The third module. So these three modules were there, and that's how I got into legal tech. I left my job and full time did that for almost 3 years.
Okay.
But we realized that we were way ahead of the time in India, and internet did not have that great sort of penetration all around. It was just picking up. But from the business point of view,
No,
it was a bit difficult.
Internet peaked near about when Geo came. That time it was boomed.
True.
That kind of thing.
True.
So you are telling me the work you have done before Geo came, right?
Yeah. We started formally everything around October 2015 actually.
15, okay.
So you can imagine, and I continued it till 2019 Jan. And when I realized that, because it is not a perfect business case, and there was other competitors also, and it was difficult to raise funding in the legal tech domain at that point of time. And right after 2019, then the COVID happened, and then things started picking up.
Okay.
So I left that, and and then moved to Bangalore. I was in Delhi until that, and then started working as a legal tech consultant with a fintech startup. And it was wonderful experience, and I got my hands on developing different product, partnership management, digital asset management, and other technology tools relevant for businesses and legal industry. I worked with them for almost a year, and then the COVID hit. Then I left, and then again I founded a company working on a legal tech domain called Allstack Technology, and it had a brand called AltClick Digital, which primarily worked as a branding and marketing firm for lawyers and law firms. Because during my startup and entrepreneurial phase that I had started, I was very much focused on marketing and the branding and the brand development, all those sort of things. And if you see that these are also part of the operation side of the business, right? And technology has a significant role to play in that, right? And from there, I almost worked for 2 years, and then I had a client who wanted to set up an ALSP called Alternative Legal Services Provider.
Mm-hmm.
and I became VP of Business Development over there
Okay.
and helped them set up everything from scratch.
Scratch. Okay.
Worked with them for more than a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I was heading the business development vertical, and I was supposed to also head the legal technology consulting vertical,
Okay.
which was proposed,
Mm-hmm.
but we had not yet started working on that
Mm-hmm.
because we were very early stage.
True, true. Okay.
And later on, they decided to just focus on contract management as a service,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so I parted my ways and ended up founding Advanta Legal Tech last year.
Okay.
Last year,
At the last means like first this, second this, and last. Right now, what you're coming up.
yes. So
Ah.
this is the stage that we reached. So October last year, I launched Advanta Legal Tech
Mm-hmm.
with presence in 6 countries through
Mm-hmm.
the network of consultants that we are working and people who are very much well versed with the technology side of the things and work, and the law side of the things. So I basically come as a bridging the gap between law and
Technology.
technology.
Okay.
I come from law background
Mm-hmm.
with a very much keen interest on emerging technology, and these other team members are also consultant,
Mm-hmm.
come from the legal background, and even pretty much from the tech background.
Okay,
And these
means
guys,
you don't provide your own legal tech, means you are a bridge between a legal and the technology. It is not you are providing, you are just creating a platform. That's it.
Yeah, so we have a we are basically consulting services provider.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do, we actively keep eye on the legal tech
Tech
market and
market,
the tools
correct.
and technology that are there.
Mm-hmm.
We look into the features and the tools and what all things are coming up,
Mm-hmm.
because many a times what happens, these firms end up wasting so much time and resources to implement a right technology that will help them to achieve the business objective.
Okay.
So when they come to us, we basically understand the workflow and processes, how they have been doing things, where they want to be in next 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we create a roadmap, and accordingly we handhold them to that transition, the
Correct.
digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not about technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the processes, the people,
Okay.
training those people, changing the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a significant impact for any businesses when we talk about changing tools and technologies that they have been used to, or implementing something new,
Mm-hmm.
because on its own technology won't do anything,
True.
right? And
True.
but we know that things are moving pretty fast,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously there are n number of risks that are involved,
Mm-hmm.
not from the tool side of the things, but when you identify your vendors, what kind of securities are there, access control and all
Control.
those sort
Correct.
of others,
Mm-hmm.
other things. And then you have to have that regulatory compliances
Mm-hmm.
around the things, the kind of work that you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
whether your clients' data are
Safe and secure.
safe and secure or not.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the very important factors. So it's just not about the technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we happen to work particularly and specifically for the legal industry, in the sense this is the industry is very much unique in itself
Mm-hmm.
and quite evolving, just
Okay.
like technology. I'm not saying that, it doesn't mean that I'm saying that other industries are not, or the professions are not evolving,
Mm-hmm.
but anything that changes, it impacts immediately, and
Okay.
they have to keep up with all those
Mm-hmm.
change. And technology as a enabler help them do all these things in the best way possible,
Mm-hmm.
you know not only processing these information, but
Means
in
it
fact.
will automatically update, or like someone will be there to update on that this thing. Means I understand that technology will help them.
Hmm,
Right now it is a platform, or someone is updating in like sheets and all,
hmm.
so it will automatically update the thing, or someone will update on that.
So see, essentially, these are just your tool. Earlier you used to do everything analog.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically doing it digital.
Okay.
So people will get on that. It will basically help them to save the time, to
Mm-hmm.
even generate ultimately those reports and
Mm-hmm.
make decisions
Mm-hmm.
based on the data that you have in place. You can make more efficient decision around that, and gather all those informations and
Mm-hmm.
tools which are not sort of possibilities as such when you do things on a manual or analog
True.
basis. So obviously professionals have to work on that, but again, identifying the processes,
Mm-hmm.
then suggesting a tool,
Mm-hmm.
and then doing training on those tools and technologies,
Mm-hmm.
and how it is basically integrating with the other things that you are doing. It's just not about one tool. You have to see that the way you have done things, the ecosystem that you already have, or the ecosystem or the framework that you want to create
Mm-hmm.
to work efficiently, to basically get rid of all the low value tasks, so
Mm-hmm.
you can focus on something which is more important, like client meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and doing other business development activities for your firms. You don't want to get yourself engaged in just all those admin, time intensive tasks. And this is the real problem. If you see the industry stats, more than 40% of their time of these legal professionals are wasted on admin tasks, which are low value tasks,
Okay.
which and these tasks can be easily automated with these tools and
Tools.
technologies.
Okay. Got it.
But the thing is, they have been used to these things for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a full task for them to move from that.
Means it's a muscle memory kind of thing that they are at, means like means addictive to that task kind of, or their mind is there only, we will do like this only. That's what they are
Yeah,
eager to do.
yeah,
They don't want to change kind of thing.
yeah. Just understand, the nature of lawyers as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
They are risk mitigators.
Mm.
They are risk averse people, basically.
Correct.
you know they don't want to try something as and when it comes.
Mm.
They want to see that whether things are perfectly fine or not, and
Mm.
working for others in a way that it is supposed to.
Mm.
And then they will jump into the bandwagon rather than being the first adopter and all that.
Mm.
And this is the another reason that as an industry, legal industry is pretty much laggard when it comes to technology adoption, because by nature itself lawyers are risk averse.
Okay.
They want to avoid any sort of challenges which would create, it's just not about them. Understand that law as an industry has so much, things to take care of, the client's data and other sort of things. And it's very risky job, unless and until they are 100% sure that the things that they are planning to adopt would ultimately help them out to get the kind of result that they are expecting, add value to their day-to-day things. They won't, and they would be the last one to basically get into that.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what will be the, what do you think? Means see, technology is there, means it will be a good side and bad side. So I understand it will help you out to do things. What you have as a technology person, what do you think, like what is a bad side of, rather than many people quit or fired by the means the system.
Hmm.
What do you think? What other bad thing, or what it is problematic and all? So because it's not a human that it will keep it. It's also made by human, or some error will be there,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So what do you think? What you are find till nowadays?
Hmm.
What problem might be there?
See, every field that you talk about, or everything has a good and bad side
Bad.
of the
Correct.
things.
Correct.
Absolutely. And when something is used for its intended purpose,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and in an ethical way,
Mm-hmm.
it can do wonders.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if something is not done in a way that it is supposed to, because there is definitely risk involved
Mm.
when you are using any third party tools or the technology vendors that you have identified for yourself. It's just not about what they are claiming. You have to be also be sure that what kind of security measures that are in place, what are the access system that would be there,
Mm.
because these could be a challenge in the first place if these things have not been taken care properly by the vendor or the technology tools that you adopt. Again, so these are the riskier side of the thing. And when we talk about using technology as a professional,
Mm.
the bad side of this thing is basically, see, creativity needs little bit of isolation. You cannot be just creative sitting in front of the system and the technology and tools that you're using. You know, if you see that all the great invention in the world has happened
Mm.
when the person has been out of the regular, thinking step and doing things,
Mm.
rather took a break and did something completely entirely different from the thing that he was doing,
Mm.
and then the idea clicks. Even you have noticed sometimes when you are trying to solve a problem,
Mm.
and you gave so much time, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or even days and weeks and all that.
Mm.
But all of a sudden, when you stop thinking that you are doing something else, and all of a sudden it clicks that,
Yes.
okay,
Mm.
so this is the way to, look at things. Because when you are so much into the technology itself,
No, that
cannot
is right,
make
but
you creative in the
that is
sense.
right. But my question was that, like, what is the bad side of it?
I'm
Because,
coming to that.
uh,
I'm coming to that.
mm.
So my point is basically
Mm.
technology can hamper your creative ability to solve problem if you are
Okay.
just into that.
Mm.
This should be very much around the defined sort of things. But
Okay.
when lawyers are basically a problem solver as well,
Mm. Mm.
working on the client and strategy, those
Mm.
sort of things, just sitting in front of our tools and working around that might not help. I'm
Mm.
just saying that, okay,
I got it.
this could be one aspect of the things that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
but don't just completely rely on that.
On that. Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
use your human ingenuity to come up with the creative solution.
Mm.
Technology is just like, tool for any other professional as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And even in your case, legal tech would be something around that.
Mm.
But the thing that lawyers are known for is their creative problem solving strategy,
Mm.
and these sort of things that and just sitting in front of the system or using technology, probably it
Mm.
hampers your creative
Creative.
ability actually.
Mm.
And in the days that we are living in, always in front of some screen or other
Yeah. True.
before we go to sleep.
Mm.
Either we are on a system, either we are on a mobile device
Yeah.
or television or some screen or other that is always there,
True. True.
right? So we really need that spaced
Mm.
sort of break or something to be more creative
Correct.
and more engaging in the, just the technology world. I think it can basically little bit limit your ability to go beyond what is possible. So that break is very important to look at things around, because we all are, at the end of the day, in what profession we all are problem solvers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. In
And
whichever profession or whichever
yeah, yeah,
person will be there, someone, some and another, he will be solving a problem.
true.
Mm.
So we need that, sort of
Means you're telling,
away time from
you're
all the.
telling that, like, use the technology, but for some percentage, not completely rely on that. Like,
Yeah,
it is making your job easy, so don't rely totally on that.
true, true,
Through your means, like,
exactly.
take your own creative, or sometimes use your own creative plus like solve yourself kind of thinking.
Absolutely, because a
Okay.
technology is basically to augment your creativity and the way of doing things
Mm.
rather than completely replacing you as a professional.
Mm.
Because nobody, no tools or anything can take away your creative approach, the
Mm.
problem solving, the
Mm.
strategic solution to the things that you are working.
See, technology is on database. Database, what you are feeding it, it will give a strategy on that.
Yeah,
But human tendency is not like that. Human tendency notes the other small things which we have not feed into the main
true,
system or something.
true.
So that is the thing. Okay, I understand that. That's nice to hear about that. What are the success stories what you have achieved till now? Like you are doing the work, you will be having some success or like some problematic stuff, or you're something you want to achieve, or but it did not happen. Like
Hmm.
you thought like it will go like this,
Hmm.
but it did not go like that.
Yeah.
So that time, how you deal yourself?
Yeah, so the good problem solver. Okay,
Mm.
as I think we have partially answered this point in our previous conversation. So
Mm-hmm.
I usually, when I'm stuck with a particular issue or challenge, or
Mm-hmm.
when I'm working on that, I usually take a break and try
Mm-hmm.
to reflect on the things,
Okay.
and with the fresh mind, and and that's
Okay.
how I try to solve that, rather
Oh.
than continuously just doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Not like that.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just try to have a perspective around that challenge that we have, or just get away from that for some time
Mm.
and then get back, and usually I've been able to solve that. And see, problem or the issues are part of any thing as we do professionally, and
Mm.
we all have a different approach to solve that.
True. True.
Sometimes we just look at and try to find whether it is so common we can find it online or not, and how others have done
Yeah.
or solve that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that particular issue or challenge is so unique to you,
Mm-hmm.
you have to think out of box,
Correct.
and maybe reevaluate your approach that you have had in first place.
Mm.
So depending on the complexity of the challenge, and it's always good to reflect and look at things from different perspective and come up with a good solution around that. So this is the particular approach that I have. And
Good.
even like many times, what happens when we are implementing certain solutions, things
Mm.
doesn't work out the way we were expecting.
Mm.
But again, you just identify those challenges and come back again,
Mm.
and many a times we end up finding that particular solution, but relevant to that particular challenge.
Okay.
So it works out at the end of the day.
Can you tell me little about this thing, tech software, which are because I have never heard one tech software which will help technologies to means in the legal industry. I don't know any. So
No, there are n number of tools actually.
okay.
So see, mostly lawyers, all the document creation and everything happen on Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Office and all those sort of
Mm-hmm.
tools actually, and all the communications and all those. So this is a very much integral part of any law office or a legal department.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
even this is not particularly a legal tech tool,
Mm-hmm.
but one of the arsenal for these legal professional.
Okay.
So this is one of the important tool, and in the recent time, the kind of innovation that even Microsoft doing
Mm-hmm.
around AI Copilot,
Mm-hmm.
and helping and getting things done in their ecosystem.
But
It's
that everyone is using. It is not only legal terms, legal technology and all. That a small person and everyone is doing. So what is the difference between a
so
legal?
so when we talk, so lawyer essentially work on different sort of contracts,
Mm,
agreements,
mm,
reviewing those on a regular basis.
mm,
So that is a very integral part of their day-to-day activities,
mm,
drafting,
mm,
uh, pleading and notices and what all not,
mm.
right? So and sometimes they have to improve the clause and have need to have a playbook or clause library.
Mhm.
So these tools basically help them do these
So
things in.
what tools? I'm asking like tools I know,
So there
but
are
what tools?
contract management tool,
Mhm.
they are called CLMs, contract life cycle management is
Uh-huh.
another.
Uh-huh.
So even primarily for the legal department, but this is integral for a business per se,
Okay.
because any commercial relationship
Mm.
as a business
Mm.
is primarily managed by contracts,
Mm.
correct?
Mm.
And contracts are handled, or there is so complete life cycle of a contract,
Mm.
so it start with the sales team, so different kind of relationship happen in
Sure.
a business setup, right?
Mm.
But essentially the legal department or the lawyers are responsible for taking care of all the legal stuff,
Okay.
and these tools help them to connect with all the important stakeholders
Mm.
or the decision maker to make it flow quickly. Otherwise, earlier what used to happen, like there are like 4 or 5 parties, one has sent to other, then waiting for them to
Mm. Reply.
review and redline or suggest things and
Mm.
then get back, and you lose track of the things at
Mm.
the end of the day, correct?
Yeah.
Just to avoid those things and keeping all the stakeholders in the loop, so there is a contract life cycle management tool which not only tells you that when the this contract or agreement a contract is primarily due for renewal, you
Mm.
know who all are the what all the risks are required and what are sort of different compliances that are needed to be done as per
Mm.
the agreement and all those sort
Mm.
of things, and these tools can help you get a reminder sort of,
Mm.
and on a regular basis
Mm.
identify those risk or what is coming up,
Mm.
track all these developments around that, and that's how you essentially manage all your commercial relationship in the business,
Okay.
and contracts is integral part of that,
Mm.
and the CLM technologies essentially help them to streamline these entire
Okay.
thing.
Mm.
Does it make sense? So this is one aspect of the things.
Okay.
Then again we go into the law firm setup.
Mm.
Then there is a practice management tool is there, you
What
know
tool? May I know?
practice management tool is called Clio is there,
Okay.
Practice Panther is there,
Okay.
so many other.
Practice management in the sense what it will be?
So it's basically, you can say that their case diary and what all things that they would be doing,
Okay.
what are the dates that they have
Mm.
in place and day to day activity, the
Means
matter
it's a
man.
diary of the lawyer.
Yeah, in a very much digital form.
Mm.
Briefly, you can understand. So they have. This is essentially sort of operating system for a law firm.
Okay. Okay.
In in businesses we have different sort of operating system. When we
Mm.
talk about the marketing and self, then there is a CRM tools, right?
Mm.
Very much it can pretty much be customized to the requirement of that particular business that it is, right? The same way with the practice management tool. Since it is bit different, there is a different sort of way of doing things. The terminologies are different,
Mm.
and they don't have to only work on the things that they have, but they have to appear in the court also,
Mm.
and the way they handle all these documents
Mm.
are different than other businesses, so it's very much customized to their needs and requirement.
Oh, it is customized. It's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the software is this. You have to do whatever you
No,
want.
no, no. It can be pretty much customized to their requirements and the
Okay.
needs and the way they operate.
Mm.
Then there is alternative dispute resolution platform
Mm.
as well.
Mm.
Matter management tool is there.
Okay.
And consent management tool is there,
Mm.
and these lists are endless.
Okay.
And sometimes very much specific to the practice these lawyers do.
Mm.
Even so many things are related to managing the intellectual property
Mm.
rights
Mm.
and things around that, so there are dedicated tools
I want
for.
to know this that these technologies are there that the information the lawyer when they are studying in the starting stage they know that or not?
No, a very good question, and this is this is the tough thing, you know.
Okay.
The kind of curriculum currently we have,
Mm-hmm.
it does not teach you anything about legal, but now they have started understanding the value and
Okay.
how the curriculum needs to be
Evolved.
evolved and shifted towards
Mm-hmm.
more of the new way of, because they are not taught anything about marketing, sales, business development,
Mm-hmm.
practice management,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the stuff around the tools and technology that they will be using.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment they get out from the law
College.
college,
Oh.
they are in complete sort of, you know, like, you know, these things are very much new unless and
Mm-hmm.
you do these things first hand, or probably have learned something, and it's very difficult,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the soft skills are hard to acquire actually.
Okay.
So all these sales, marketing, and business development, these are particularly, and there are so many other things, because they, on the day-to-day basis, they are interacting with people. They can be logical and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a different approach
Approach.
altogether,
Mm-hmm.
and probably their lawyering skill set would not do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really sad in the sense that the regular curriculum do not have all these things, but
Mm-hmm.
now you know, things have started picking up,
Okay.
and you know, momentum is there. They are looking that how the AI have, you know, came and changed the entire perspective of this profession, and this is
Mm-hmm.
very important
So
for
you're
law
telling.
students and lawyers to learn,
Mm-hmm.
and the tech is the way going forward,
Okay.
right? And so even in the curriculum, all these parts are basically being included on their
Mm-hmm.
curriculum, actually, law and technology, and these tools and technologies, and how they can utilize later on.
Can we say that after certain times we don't have to go courts?
Sorry, come again.
Can we say that like we don't have to go courts then? Because technology is doing everything. Like a client is there and the two lawyers, the means probably 100% there will be a problem. And both side, the client will be coming for the legal things and they will be going for the courts. But because of Zoom call and not Zoom,
We
means everything, it can be done virtually. Okay, this things happened, this thing, this is the
things
decision.
things have see, everybody got to experience it first and during COVID.
Okay.
When we talk about even in Supreme Court, the hearings were happening virtually,
Hmm.
and many lawyers got it very difficult for them because they are not technology savvy enough
Hmm.
to deal with the tech side of the things,
Hmm.
and you know, they struggled a lot.
Okay, now
And
it
but
is fine.
yeah, but now things have, and I'm sure that
Hmm.
because this is the ultimate, whether we do it today or tomorrow, this is going to happen for sure,
Okay.
you know. And because there are different platforms that are coming, you know, so there is thing called alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
So essentially, people do not go to court to resolve their dispute.
Hmm.
Rather, they go to a particular virtual platform where there is mediator, you
Hmm.
know, and both the parties agree who really willing to resolve that dispute,
Hmm.
and present all the facts and everything to the arbiter or mediator, whosoever it
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
and they basically
Yeah.
adjudicate on that and help them resolve that
Hmm.
dispute.
But arbitrator, most of the time, what I have seen, arbitrator gives decisions whose notice he have made, or who has chosen that we will go for this arbitrator and we'll hire this arbitrator. One party will hire it, right? So most of the time, the arbitrator will give the decision on their hand who hired it.
Mm. No, there is again entire rules and regulation
Okay. No,
which
because
which
I
ultimately take cares of all these scenarios.
once one of my friends at the case I heard, and that time similar thing happened. So that's what I want to know, that most of the time arbitrator will be like both side or neutral, or like what it will be, because that time I felt no, this arbitrator was like one sided. Correct. So like how we will judge that, like it will
So
be
there is, scenarios, or even there are provisions to take care of these scenarios, and these are done in a way that it is supposed to be. Because when you go to any forum, they have their defined rules and regulations and how things will be conducted to keep it impartial. It's not about that if somebody is hiring. Obviously, uh, in many of cases, this is part of the agreement itself. So, which forum they would go if there is any dispute that happens, and how the things would be taken care of from there. Correct. So that is there, and if anything happens, so there is always a forum where they can go if they are not
Okay.
happy with the things.
Okay, okay.
It's just not like that. Okay, so these things are primarily, taken care of. There are provision to protect the rights of the people. It doesn't happen
See,
arbitrarily.
one I want to ask, which is not, I don't know, just you're from legal, that's what I am asking. Like, why we have most of the people, most of not most, many people are graduating from law firm. Why there is lawyer more and judges less?
Interesting
Because
question.
many are passing. They can choose for becoming judge, but they are not. They are like barricading themselves. No, we will practice law. It is less money or whatever it is, we'll practice this. We don't want to become judge. In India, many cases are pending because of that only. Because we don't have enough lawyer. Not
Enough
lawyers,
judges.
enough judges to give them the validation or like handle the cases.
Yeah, that is true actually, and
I don't know about
and
you.
this is quite rampant. But again, the government has already taken cognizance of these issues, and it's more of the way we have developed the mindset, or the curriculum of the academics that are there. Ultimately, we become the product of the kind of the setup and the system that we are part of.
Okay.
Right, and mostly you will see that in these law colleges and law schools, and their successes would depend on how many placement their students got in all these corporates and big law firms, and how much
So it is
sort
from the
of
college.
packages that they have got.
Okay,
You know,
means it is a problem from the base ground college only.
yeah, I'm not saying that, but again, there are people who are, because to be, I think, good judge, you have to be academically very sound.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that other people are not, and they need to have a different mindset
No, but
altogether. And there are exams of and the judiciary and all that, and it's at the level of civil services itself actually, and there is sort of entire training which happens for to become a judge. You don't have to just just you crack the exam, and people prepare rigorously for that. And it's not that people are not doing, but there are certain standard
Okay, understand.
that they need to match to be at that level, And honestly, if you ask me, I would say bluntly that our education system is kind of the way it is structured, it is not catering to that specific need the way it should have done.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it is not there or included, everything is there,
Mm-hmm.
but we become of our surrounding when everybody is talking about the high paying job, corporate salaries, all the stuff.
No,
But the potential of a legal education is so wide, and I'm telling you, it's not just about the judges. Many a times, like, all the policy making things,
yeah.
the in-house legal team, lawyers, and then doing the litigation as well, So law as a field has a wide sort of this thing, and to become a judge is it's a very rigorous process, and nobody and ultimately just see also that how they are obviously there is so much respect in society
Mm.
for the judiciary as such. But if you compare from the compensation aspect of the things and the effort somebody puts to become to be the part of the judiciary so much, and to be at certain level where they can compensate, from the financial point of
No,
view,
that's
it's
fine.
that's one of the very important factor.
No, no, no.
Understand?
I will not say that because see, IAS and IPS people like many people try, like lakhs and crores of people try. But if you see the like personality or personality wise or like their how they will get respect and all, judges get more respect and they are more powerful than IAS and IPS. But many people are not trying to do that.
Mm.
Many people are trying to become IAS and IPS. But in fact, if I compare both of them, judges are stronger. What I feel.
Uh, uh, I can understand the perception from the society point of view, definitely, and they play a significant role,
Mm-hmm.
as a change maker, and in society. It's just not educating on the matters and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very much well respected in the society. But to be at that level, and even there is sort of journey. It's not just like that, you do and you just simply
Yeah.
become high court or supreme court. So there is entire sort of yeah, things around that needs to be done to be at that level. And obviously, apart from the education, the curriculum system that we have in place is one of the factor that is not promoting it enough for all these aspiring lawyers or the law student to become judges in the first place. And again, the economics is definitely there when somebody can earn loads and loads of money, because many a times what happened, to get a good law education they have to get so much of a loan
Yeah.
from all these uh, for education loan and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
much of a burden is there, and again, that regular thing cannot help them out to get it repaid.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go in corporate, so in a pretty short frame of
Short frame of time they
time
will.
they would be able to earn
But
loads and loads of
what
money.
I will feel is like lawyers or advocates don't become that much because what I know, like the starting paid of the salary of the lawyers or advocates
Hmm.
might be 8K, 10K, 15K. What if
Uh,
I'm wrong or like
it depends. Again, there are, it depends.
okay
Because, see, personally, I have not walked into
legal
litigation as such, or even in,
civil courts and all.
yeah, all those sort of, but I have done internship and have
Uh,
pretty much good familiarity around all these things. But it's not like that, but
uh,
it is totally, and see, uh, again, law itself prepares you for the endless possibility as an education or degree.
okay.
It's ultimately your interest,
Mm.
your drive, your passion, which helps you to choose the path that would work
But
for you.
that is
And
contradictory. You said like our education is law education is not good that much, or they are not pushing it. But at the same time, you are saying like it will make you enough that you have to be passionate or something.
see,
How it
see,
is?
as a systematic framework,
Hmm.
those were the flaws that I identified. Okay,
Okay.
but there is something in your hand as well.
Hmm.
You have your free will, what you want to do with that, and where you want to go as a
Uh,
professional, and what you want to do,
hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Obviously system, because that is definitely one of the challenge. I'm not saying that if challenge is there,
Hmm.
you cannot become what you want to become,
Hmm.
right? You can definitely become, and you have that free will to make that choice for you,
Okay.
right? And that totally depends. It gives you freedom in the sense, when I say that the possibilities are there,
Hmm.
but it comes down to the fact that what matters to you, what drives you,
Hmm.
and obviously there would be n number of factors that would come into picture. Many a times you will see professionals,
Mm-hmm.
they start doing one thing and another, then another, and then another.
Mm-hmm.
Many a times we think that we have figured out life, but it
But
doesn't work
mm,
like that,
correct.
right? It's not that simple.
Mm,
And it has its own challenges, and we understand and when we start doing things what
mm,
makes sense to us,
mm,
no matter sometimes how much planning you do,
mm.
plans are bound to fail.
Okay.
And we learn as we experiment and do things,
Mm,
and ultimately find a purpose or the things that we want to do,
mm,
the things that is making sense for us in a way or makes us kind of fulfilled or happy professionally,
mm,
right? Those drive is definitely there. I'm not just blaming the system, that's why things are not happening.
mm.
That is one of the
Aspect.
problem that is definitely there.
Mm,
And problem is part of anything and everything for us as a human, but
mm,
we have that power to come out those from those challenges and make the decisions for us that matters,
mm,
and where we want to drive it.
mm,
Challenges are definitely there, and that's how you make decisions where to go and all that, right? You take that call, you do look at the positive and the negative side of the things, and then take a call.
mm,
You cannot just blame one thing and do nothing about it,
mm. I understand that.
right? You have.
No, but what you are saying is you have to be like take some steps. That I understand. But what about the previous step? What we have taken, that we are losing our energy, time, everything. Again, like you were saying, you have to put, if that is problem, okay. But if you have to achieve something, you have to put again time. You're saying like, am I in a trap? But for get out of this, again I have to get in a trap. That can be a trap
Hmm.
or that cannot be. That you surely don't know.
Hmm.
But you have to take another step. But afterwards, yeah, when you get into it, you will get to know if it
I,
does
I'm
not
s-
work.
I This was just an example.
Huh.
Okay,
Mm,
this was example. I'm not saying that this is the. So what I was trying to convey through that example is that
mm,
many a times we can never be sure what is right for us.
mm,
Nobody can. And things, the right decision you make or come to a right sort of a decision with so much of the experimentation and the when you try things,
mm,
when you know that okay, what sticks ultimately and what basically you love or enjoy doing. I'm
mm,
not saying that, and it's not that people who have so much of a transition in their career,
mm,
not legal per se, but even in other field
mm,
as well, they have not done wonders.
mm,
Because even when we generally also talk about innovation and creativity,
mm.
it does not happen in silo or
Yeah,
in one field.
yeah.
When somebody has a coming kind of background in one field and very much curiosity and understanding of the other field, and when they just look at
No,
from
but
both the.
how a person will get a courage because he get to know like he is in trap.
Hmm.
How the person will say like, okay, let's take one more step. Otherwise, no, let's let it be here. Whatever let happens, let the life goes on, and I will do it.
That's the life, see, these are not absolutely not easy decision to make,
Mhm.
you know and
But this
it's
is
just
not.
not about the situation that you're stuck in.
Uh,
And there are really n number of factors that would drive
mm-hmm.
you to take a call in which
Okay.
direction that you have to look at even your family
Families.
situation,
Yes, true.
the kind of responsibility that you
Yeah.
have, the place that you are coming from.
True.
We cannot just make decision and always think that it will go the way we
Say,
are
yeah.
expecting.
Yeah.
Things can go haywire,
Yeah.
but you have to obviously consider other factors which are relevant for you to take that call,
Okay.
because challenges, problems, difficulties,
Mm.
these are inevitable anyway, but
Okay.
you can just consider those challenges and move in that direction anyway, as long as
Mm.
it doesn't drastically hamper your life situation in a way, that particular decision.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm,
Yeah.
getting it clear.
Yeah.
So when I we were talking about the education system and the challenges, then again there is a personal drive, interest,
Mm.
passion. Then there the family dynamics are there.
Mm.
You know, society. You know, the kind of background that you are coming from,
Mm.
peer pressure,
Yeah.
all those sort of are still there. You know,
Mm.
and what ultimately and these things come together, and that's how you take a call on certain things.
Mm.
And everybody has a different way of looking at the things, and to take that call that would be helpful, relevant, and correct for them.
Correct.
And these factors play a very, very important role when we make decision.
Mm.
And definitely we cannot ignore that. And so we cannot just blame one thing and
Mm.
then don't do anything about it,
Okay.
right? Even if there is a challenge and problem, we have to look at other things, others perspective, and move it anyway, and just see
Okay.
that what is best for us for at that point of time.
So, what is your future goal, or like what you want to achieve till your lifetime, or you will be pursuing in the legal tech, or what is your future plans?
Yes. So see, uh, I have been working in legal tech for more than a decade now.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as I come from the industry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very much purpose driven
Mm-hmm.
to basically look into the industry and help them solve the problem, and effective use of technology and tools, uh, and help them implement that and create sort of ecosystem, because it's just not about a law firm, a legal department, or legal technology vendors. So there is entire ecosystem that
Mm-hmm.
need need to needs to come together, and support each other in the growth of this, because we cannot be stagnant. As a profession, we have to move really
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
look forward to the things, because even technology is changing at a drastic chase.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be the enablers of this change.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be a problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be the real change maker.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the way we would like to make this industry more efficient, productive, and help them streamline their workflows and day-to-day things by help of technologies. And the ultimate change that we want to make is change of the mindset.
Okay.
That's the real change that we want to have, that that technology, the tools, and the AIs and machine learning, these are ultimately are there to augment the human capabilities, the
Mm-hmm.
lawyer's capabilities, rather
Mm-hmm.
than hinder it. They are not their enemies, but another tools sort of in their arsenal to move them forward and do their things in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we see ourselves as a change maker, and that's what, and we want to work in the legal industry, and help them basically optimize or streamline the operation side of the things by help of technology,
Okay.
and ultimate the change of the mindset that we would like to see in the long run.
Okay. So you will be collaborating with government, or like not government, I will say, uh, like what you want future of this should be, means that is your future goal. I understand that, but what do you think the
Hmm.
future of this technology will be like? People will be reduced, or people's job will be lost, or like it will be what I told, like don't have to go to courts, like that it will
See,
be.
see, anything which is low value task,
Mhm.
repetitive, there are certain patterns. Technology can replace it any day,
Okay.
irrespective of which profession you are.
Oh.
So the future ultimately belongs to the creative people who
Okay.
can think out of box,
Hmm.
who can solve the problem, rather than just do the manual or repetitive task. So as long as your creativity is there,
Mm-hmm.
you have the problem solving capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
you can strategically solve issues and challenges that come towards you,
Mm-hmm.
you will be valued, you will be regarded in the market.
Okay.
Okay. And technology would just work as an enabler for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are doing something which sort of have got some sort of pattern or repetitive task, so obviously will technology will take away your job.
Okay.
So the more focus,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just not about the legal industry, and I think genuinely it is applicable for any sort of professional, uh, I would say that,
Okay.
because it's ultimately your human ingenuity
Mm-hmm.
is very important, the problem solving aspect of the things,
Okay.
and the more and more uh, uh, kind of cross field understanding and the learning that you have, and you become more and more sort of better in your specific expertise itself, and technology can't do anything about that,
Okay.
as long as at least for the near future, definitely not.
Oh, okay, I understand that. Okay, that's what for the today's up. Thank you for coming to my podcast.
Okay, thanks Rahul for inviting me. It was a great conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and that some of those questions were quite intriguing, and I really enjoyed time here and having this conversation with you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.